This is Marvel Universe Angel. The figure is part of the 21st wave, I think, of the Marvel Universe series of figures. And as you can see, it is part of Series 4. It is figure number 021. I'll say this guy in the entire wave of figures has the worst paint apps. But in spite of that, this figure is still hands down the best figure in the wave, if not one of the best figures in the entire Marvel Universe toy line. Now, before we begin, as always, let's have a quick look at the packaging. He comes packaged with the wings packaged in a separate shell at the back of the shell that's housing the figure. So some assembly is required for this figure. He comes with a collectible comic shot, no base, no other accessories other than his wings and the figure. This is the Sasquatch wave, as you can see, and he says, "Are my feet really that big?" Haha. And here is the rest of the assortment, and here's the bio. So that's Angel. Now, if you've already picked up the Toys R Us exclusive X-Men 5-pack, this mold will look very familiar to you because the red version, the red uniformed Angel, is included in that X-Men, the Toys R Us X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 5-pack, which has a repainted Apocalypse, Mr. Sinister, Jean, Iceman. Oh, 6-pack, sorry. Jean, Iceman, and Cyclops. It's a 6-pack. Sorry, my bad. From Toys R Us. We never got that here. I think it was released in the US late 2012. Sadly, we did not get it here. Now, going back to this figure has a great figure sculpt. Fantastic wings on this figure, and I think there's a lot more plastic in the wings than in the actual figure itself. I could just be exaggerating, but that's how massive these wings are. He's got the crappiest paint apps because this figure uses a lot of the white paint that Hasbro seems to have very little luck using on their figures. And as you can see, there's a lot of jagged edges. Let me see if I can get a close-up on that. A lot of jagged edges on where the white meets the blue. As you can see, the white is a little bit off to this side than here. The blue sort of bleeds in with the flesh. And again, more jagged edges of the white paint apps here. I've seen some that have worse paint apps that have like some white splotches here and there, and it's just crazy. But despite that, I like the fact that Hasbro has really made some effort to make this figure a must-have figure for most of the collectors. They've really tried to make this a wonderful figure for collectors, for Marvel Universe hardcore collectors. Let's start with the wings. The wings can be detached. They come disassembled, as I mentioned earlier, and you just peg them in like so. They've got some articulation. They can swivel. There's a hinge on it. There is another hinge on this part of the wing that makes it double jointed, so you can get the wings in very dynamic poses. So that's pretty cool. The head, sorry, not the head. The entire figure sculpt is. It looks at first glance to be the Jamie Madrox black suited Spider-Man mold, or Jamie Madrox mold, but it's not. I like the fact that Hasbro has, still made some effort to make this figure very pleasing to Marvel collectors because they've added a thigh swivel on it. They've gotten these particular hips from the Jim Lee Cyclops figure mold, and then just attached the entire upper leg is, I think, from the Jim Lee Cyclops mold, or Doctor Strange mold, whatever you prefer, but the knees, the legs, the ball hinge ankles, the torso, the lower torso, ball hinge shoulders, bicep swivel, hinge elbow, and swivel wrist, and even the ball jointed neck, they're all part of an older mold, which is I guess the Jamie Madrox mold. And you know I'm just glad we have this figure, and for them to actually put a thigh swivel, I was expecting they used in the entire older mold, but they actually mixed and mashed up the newer mold with the older mold, so that's fine. I wish, however, they could have changed. I don't know if it was going to increase cost, but I wish they could have added a hinge ball joint for the neck. I mean, this is a flying character in the comic books, and it would be nice if you could position the head up to there, and that would entail having a hinge joint and a ball joint, a ball joint on a hinge, which is what the more recent figures have, and yeah, well, it's a shame. I guess that would be asking for too much, given that they've already given us so much plastic with the wings. So overall, even with the crappy paint apps, I still want to give this figure a 10 out of 10. To me, it is one of the best that Hasbro has produced from the Marvel Universe line, and I think this was still during the watch of Vonner, Mr. Vonner's watch on the Marvel Universe. And for those of you Marvel Universe fanatics out there, you've got to get this figure, if not the entire wave. This could be the last of the Marvel Universe single-carded figures that we'll probably get before it probably goes on hiatus. I have no idea if it is going on hiatus or there'll be more in the pipeline, but it looks as though this particular wave 21, could be the last of the single card ones until at least for a very long time, because of all the movies coming out. The figure itself is great, even if you're not a big fan of the X-Men. If you're just an Avengers guy, but you love the Marvel Universe line, it's a must-have figure, in my opinion. If you're an X-Men fan, I cannot stress it enough that you've got to get this figure. Do not pay scalper prices for this figure. Contrary to what a lot of people believe, this figure is not impossible to find. You just have to slug it out and be patient. You know, it's gonna come when it's gonna come. Law of averages. And just be patient. Do not pay more than I would say. I wouldn't pay more than $20 for this figure. I think that has to be the limit for this one. So anyway, that's that. It's a great figure. I hope you've enjoyed this review. Catch me on Twitter, twitter.com/fxfrance for my latest toy purchase and upcoming reviews. Mini haul videos are on keek.com/fxfrance. Toy sightings here in Manila on Instagram at fxfrance. I post videos on YouTube on two of my channels, fxfrance and Chefatron, as well as contribute videos to Tech Sushi on YouTube. There you go, folks. This has been the Marvel Universe Angel from the 2003, I think, final wave of the Marvel Universe. Thanks for watching.